talked about human impact, we've talked about wind load. There's one more aspect that is human safety, which is the fire safety.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, that is again, our understanding there is very limited. Fire safety may, especially with indoor partitions and outdoor partitions on glass is happening, there are enough cases of, facade glass breaking and fire leaping through. From one floor to another, you will find the fire actually jumps. If you will see, they'll break and then it'll jump the floors. So there is a facade that we need to understand, and then internal partitions. So when we talk about, almost every architect now knows that we have to have a certain area which needs to be fire enclosed. तो कई बार partitions जब हम लगाते हैं, तो उसके लिए क्या करना चाहिए? That is the very important criteria also.
The fire safety.
Yeah, the fire safety.
So
Fire
we have a product there are internal partition systems even in the office system, which are fire safety partitions. So the entire assembly of aluminium, glass,
everything,
and hardware is preventing the fire from going from one side to the other. And of course, you need fire-rated glass to go with it. And very essential to know that even the fire in the glasses in the stairwells of a lot of commercial buildings, they're also making it fire doors. So very rightly said, the partition systems inside an office space, they can be fire rated, the sections, the design of the sections, the EPDM, the hardware,
everything.
And everything. So it has to be a complete system designed, tested according to the.
So how does hardware play a role in human safety, Alok, based on your experience of?
So there are two things in human safety. I can largely cover it from the entrance perspective. So if you look at a lot of our airports and including malls and office buildings, they use automatic doors. So a lot of times the sensors fails and there are no safety beams and the door speeds are not correct. So if you use an inferior operator, the door can open slowly, close slowly, so the purpose is lost. However, you need a faster closing and then it should be able to break and it should be able to sense people of different heights. There should be safety beams, and also sometimes that if it does bang into somebody, there has to be a certain force considering the weight of the door, the height of the door,
the glass piece,
the glass pieces, so that if somebody hits him, he should not be thrown away. He can maybe get a little jolt, but he should not get injured. So again, there are safety parameters in the sensors of automatic doors, the power of the operator, that has to be designed very carefully.
देखिए fire safety का ना दीपक जी, it's a complete subject, and each building at design stage has to evaluate what are the fire safety requirements of that building.
Correct.
And again, fire safety, you can have fire safety material or glass elements with three possibilities. One is for integrity only.
Yes.
So that if it's a fire on one side, it doesn't allow the flames to go on the other side. That's only for integrity.
Right. So isme bhi, sir, again, one is somebody can actually get hurt by the fire, but also it is important to design the inhabitants to be able to evacuate.
Yes, I'm coming to that. And the second is which has the integrity and radiation control. Sometimes the fire over there, glass is in place, the fire is so intense over here that the radiation from this glass can light up another fire in this thing. The passages have to be kept clean. The evacuation area or the area where people accumulate in case of fire from before they are being evacuated. And in the building design, it's a third element is where there is integrity and insulation. Because sometimes there is a passage. The heat over there is so much that people are not able to pass through that passage because the passage itself has become so hot. So it depends upon what category of glass
and where you are installing it.
Where you are installing it, and that will depend basically. And then there is ratings, integrity for 30 minutes or 60 minutes or 90 minutes
or 120 minutes.
Or 120 minutes. So what is the requirement?
That's
so
also cannot say how much time it needs for evacuation.
सबसे बढ़िया लगा दो, integrity भी कर दो, insulation भी कर दो, और radiation control भी कर दो, और 120 minutes कर दो. But then there is a cost. We are not sitting here to advise people on go to the most expensive solution.
The right solution.
जो ज़रूरत है, जिस चीज़ की ज़रूरत है, उस चीज़ को ज़रूर लगाए, उसको avoid नहीं करे. लेकिन over design की भी कोई फायदा नहीं है. If you are putting too much steel into a building, it's not
going to make it stronger.
So there the element is, one is this, other is that when you going to the initial building design as an architect, you must see that in case of fire, how much time it will take for the people to evacuate. Now that is the fire rating in terms of time.
Yeah.
If you feel that this यहाँ सायरन बजे मॉल है, अब वहाँ रात को तो लोग होते नहीं, दिन को अगर आग लगी और कितने भी लोग अंदर हों, इतने सारे उसके डोर्स एंट्रेंस है, सायरन बजते ही 15 मिनट में सब बाहर हो जाएंगे. It will not take more than 15 minutes or 30 minutes. So there you need not put 120 minutes. But in a hotel where people are sleeping and it catches fire, you have to have enough time. Alarm भी बजा, सो रहे हो आप, अच्छी नींद सो रहे हो, आपका ग्लास मसाज बाकी सब कुछ बहुत बढ़िया था. So you were sleeping tight and then
you sleep to hell, bro. You don't want to do that.
So there the requirements are different and it should be.
I want to take one subject to the aspect of safety with windows and doors keeping in mind. So what has been our struggle, Shobhita, in running UDMA and trying to educate people in terms of, because पहला job तो installers, window manufacturers का है to make sure कि they sell the right product, rather than saying कि 300 का करना है कर देंगे भाई साहब, 500 का भी हो जाएगा, 700 का भी हो जाएगा. मतलब यही सबसे बड़ा challenge है, because the client is asking you, right?
So there are two challenges mainly, because there are two parties, right? One is seller and one is buyer.
Right.
Okay, it is a challenge to, of course, teach the person who is making the windows and installing the windows. But it is also very important, because that's also what we're doing. We're educating the client also until you are the buyer, okay? And if you don't know what I have to buy or what all things you have to look in the windows.
तो मुझे तो पैसे बता दो बस.
So that is not, because windows are a long-term investment. Okay, it's just like your long-term investment key. Maybe it's a little bit costlier right now, but during the time it will give you return. So you have
lifetime
to think.
value.
Yeah. So it's two perspectives. One is to educate the person who is making the windows, as well as a person who is buying the windows, the architects, the builders, the user. He must know what he must look into a window before buying it, right? And right now we're talking about the safety. So one more thing which I want to talk about is the child safety. There's so many cases that we have heard about where child falling off from the windows and dying, right? So this is why there is a code in NBC also that we have to keep at least, the sill level should be at least 3
750.
feet. Or I mean, in case of kids, I think it should be higher. It should be at least 1100 mm. And if we talk
It's
about
like 4 feet. Give or
That
take.
you talking about railing,
yeah,
minimum railing
at
height.
least fixed.
Yeah.
Even if there is no wall, then give a fixed window at the bottom and a openable window at the top. And if we talk about some hardware, then we can give some child restrictor,
Correct.
those hardware where kids can't open sashes.
Just like a child
fully.
lock.
Right.
Yeah, in the car.
Yeah.
So before I close this chapter, I want to say the following thing. आप घर यूज़ कर रहे हो, ऑफिस यूज़ कर रहे हो, एनी अदर फैसिलिटी यूज़ कर रहे हो, खरीद रहे हो या रेंट कर रहे हो, उससे पहले जितना आपने यहाँ सुना उसको समझने की कोशिश करिए एंड लुक एट ऑल द फाइनर डिटेल्स, कीपिंग सेफ्टी इन माइंड कि क्या ये जगह मुझे रेंट करनी चाहिए या खरीदनी चाहिए, या जब मैं घर बना रहा हूँ या ऑफिस बना रहा हूँ या बनवा रहा हूँ, हैव दीज ब्रॉडर सब्जेक्ट्स, ह्यूमन सेफ्टी बीइंग kept in mind. And that was why you should listen to this in order to just very bare minimums. But a finer detail, we are the experts here who can talk about it, you can learn about it and use it. That's it. It's not costing you anything. It will save you your life.